Starting this video without a snappy musical intro sequence would definitely make a difference, and probably not a positive one. And given the topic I'm focusing on here, I'm definitely not going to leave it out. This video provides some key points on how to incorporate music into podcasts. Firstly, why would you want to do this? Well, I'm sure you have a pretty clear idea yourself. In a world where our attentions are increasingly divided and we have endless free screen entertainment at our fingertips, gaining and maintaining the attention of your audience isn't always the easiest thing to do. Making use of some music when creating a podcast is a great way to increase the likelihood that people will find the media you make engaging. At the very least, I always ensure that a podcast I make has a brief intro and outro sequence at its beginning and its end. A well-chosen music track will help set up the tone that you're trying to convey, so choosing music that's appropriate is an important first step. Hi there everyone, this is Adam here, talking to you from my car. But it's just as, if not more important, to ensure you can use the music you find in the first place. It's certainly not the case that all music uploaded onto SoundCloud, for instance, has been shared with Creative Commons licenses that let you use them in the ways that those licenses specify. If there is no license or permission statement noted in a track's description box, always assume that it's copyrighted. In other words, assume you cannot use it. There is a handy way to narrow down your search to certain kinds of licensed music, as you can see here. But even if music does show up in one of these narrowed down searches, always verify that any individual track you're thinking about using definitely has the license clearly noted in the description box. It can be frustrating when you find great music that you don't have the rights to use, but it generally only takes me a few minutes to discover something amazing from the array of Creative Commons licensed music that people have generously made available for use. And of course, be sure to credit any Creative Commons content that you use with links to the original. Put this credit in the description box of your own SoundCloud podcast. While you won't be able to make hyperlinks like you do in your blog post, any URL that you copy into a SoundCloud description box will be an active hyperlink. Sometimes it can be useful to have some music quietly playing beneath speaking voices, which I do from time to time if I'm interested in conveying or enhancing a mood that's being evoked.
I grew up in the western suburbs of Sydney, so I grew up around quite a few farms, and back in those days I looked at them and I saw farms. I saw what we were told to see. I saw what the industry would have liked me to see.
However, having background music is not crucial, and sometimes foregrounding voices on their own can be clearer and more meaningful. The most important piece of advice that I can give is that if you ever combine music with narration, always make sure that the volume of the music is not too loud. Music that distracts from or completely overwhelms a speaker has the opposite effect of being engaging. Musical interludes can also be handy to break things up.
Just so they know what's going on is really powerful.
And using Audacity's fade-in effect can make the transition from speech to music much smoother.
Just so they know what's going on is really powerful.
The same applies to fading out music.
What can I do? So that's where it all started, really. What can I do? So that's where it all started, really.
While including some music might be more than enough for most podcasts, I thought I'd mention here that there are lots of sound effects that have been shared with Creative Commons licenses as well. These can also help enhance the meaning and the mood of a podcast, such as when I use some zombie noises and gunshots to reflect on my first experience of VR gaming. And there were 6 or 7 passageways around me in every direction. I could turn around and there would be a passageway, an entrance where a zombie could potentially come from. And I found pretty quickly that I was almost intuitively shooting blindly with my right hand, while my eye line followed my left hand around with the torch, making sure that no zombies snuck up behind me. It was a fascinating experience. I genuinely didn't want any zombies to get close to me, much less kill me. And that was a very different feeling from when I play those kinds of games on the Xbox. I hope you found the advice in this video and earlier videos about making podcasts useful. But to repeat a key message that has been threaded throughout all of these Getting Practical with Digital Media videos, any advice that I can give will only get you so far. For the most part, as Tiffany's reminding us here, it's always a matter of learning by doing.